Hi, everybody. Rob Moretti here, joined by Mamaroneck Tigers field hockey coach John Savage here. Coach, I think you have some news you'd like to share with everyone.
Yeah, I'd like to let everyone know that after 26 years as the varsity coach and another two at the lower level, I've decided to retire from coaching. It's a bittersweet decision. My wife and I talked about it. I have two daughters and we have five grandkids, and we're having a great time being with them. And the hour and 15-minute ride down to Mamaroneck and back is more time in the car than to practice. So I had a meeting with the kids and a meeting with Barry Suman, and I told them that I was making the decision that my family and I wanted some time while I'm healthy so that we can enjoy our grandkids and do different things in our life and hopefully travel with the pandemic slowing down and now getting a little bit higher. So we'll see. But I met with the kids. We had a great meeting. A lot of sad faces, not many tears, because we were celebrating the year we had with the group that we had that went to a state Final Four and lost 1-0 in the semifinal. And this was a group that really, I can say as a person and as a coach, they helped me become a better person and a better coach. I wanted to coach the way I did this year, my whole history, but sometimes when you get taught by coaches that say, do what I tell you to do or sit on the bench, that's your style for the beginning seasons when you start coaching in other sports. So I think the girls have taught me how to be a better person and a better coach. And this was a great bunch of kids. Three Golden Dozen, a Con Ed. I mean, this was a great bunch of kids that we had a lot of fun. We enjoyed what we got. We treasure it, a lot of memories. So this was the right time for me to kind of step aside. Coach Miller, I hope, will be the next varsity coach because she's been with the program 26 years. She knows the kids know her, the parents are comfortable. So I'm hoping the school district, will see fit to, give the varsity job to Coach Miller and fill it in with somebody who can support the philosophy that the program has had.
And Coach, I find it so interesting that you say that this year you were able to, I guess, learn some, try some new things that after coaching for 26 years. What's that like to have your 26th season and then you've still got new things that you're implementing as a coach?
Well, I think the bottom line is if I'm going to ask kids to be the best they can be, then I think I need to be the best I can be. I mean, I just completed 2 courses with USA Field Hockey, a level 1 and a level 2 certification. And there's only 3 levels. I'm very proud of that in my last couple of years because I want to be the best. And I'm telling you, some of the things I've learned in the last 2 years, I wish I would have been, a little more energetic in looking into USA Field Hockey, because the way they coach, they firmly believe that your practices should be more game-like. You let the kids learn, let the kids decide what they're supposed to do in a game-like situation, as opposed to individual drills where you just do something repetitive. And as a result, yeah, you get it correct for that situation, but you don't get it in the long run. They lose that what made them decide to pull the ball left, to pull the ball right. And I think one of the things that was told to me several years ago that it kind of brought back to be relevant is I questioned how come some of my kids who are very talented are dribbling into block tackles. When they do the dodges with the yellow or the orange cones, they're dodging 10 or 15, they're fast, they're good. Somebody said to me, John, how many orange cones are out there on the field during the game? So let the kids play, let the kids decide. Don't give them the answers. Try and ask the questions that they come up with the answers. And I think the last couple of years, especially with Sam Maresca and now with Jane McNally, those 2 goalkeepers who were leaders, I learned a lot and I'm excited. I'm leaving the program because of personal reasons, all good. And I'm volunteering up here in Newtown, Connecticut, because I found out coaches can't coach their kids in the off season. It's not like we do in Mamaroneck where I'm with the kids the summer, the winter. So I have an opportunity to help the program here by being a volunteer coach, and I make my own hours. And if the kids want to take advantage of, me being on the field with them, they can. If not, it's just a volunteer type situation. And the last 2 years I've been doing that in addition to Mamaroneck, and I've been having a great time. And my wife has no problem as long as I was only coaching one season in Mamaroneck because, before I retired, I was field hockey. Then I went to basketball. Then I went to lacrosse. I loved it, but it took away from family time. And I kind of look back on it and say, man, it helped your pension, but did it help your personal life? Barbara's been good. Barbara has allowed me to do what I love to do, and I really appreciate that. So now, hopefully, after a month and years, she'll say, I'm glad you're retired.
Certainly hope so. And looking back at your career, obviously 3 state championships in your time as the varsity head coach. You got over 400 wins, right?
That was what somebody said to me. John, you've been here 26 years. You're at 395. You could get 400. And I said, yes, that would be nice, being at one school, accomplishing 400 wins. But to me, and people say, oh yeah, you're saying that. No, it's not about the wins. It's about the kids who I've had the opportunity to share memories with, who constantly stay in touch with me. This past couple of years, we've had some youngsters come to our elementary clinic that I coach their mothers. So those are what makes it special. Those are what I value. Would it have been nice to be 400 in Mamaroneck? Yeah, it would. Is it something I would put over being with my wife, my daughters, and my grandkids? No. And the kids, every one of them said, Sav, you got to do what's right for you and your family. And it really touched my heart that they were concerned about I do what the right thing for my family. And that's what the kids have been like. And that's why I asked this opportunity to really thank the community who has given me their daughters for 2, 3, 4 years. Some families I've coached, the Sampsons go back as 3. The Devaney's I've coached, the Rogoffs I've coached. I mean, I could go on, and I don't want to leave out anybody, but it's been special that the parents supported us, thought we were doing the right thing by their kids, thought we were teaching them life lessons as well as field hockey lessons. And I really value that. And I want to thank the community, because 26 years in this day and age is something to be said about longevity, because sometimes coaches don't stay long enough. Coaches don't do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes there are things in the community that arise that cause coaches to leave. So I've been very fortunate with the coaching, the school district, and the kids. And I really want to thank everybody for that.
Along the way, any favorite moments you'd like to share? Obviously, 3 state championships being highlights, but I'm sure there are a lot of special moments in between as well.
Wow. Sometimes I hate to do this, because if you leave out a special moment for somebody, I would say a special moment for me was that first state championship with a bunch of great kids who, talent-wise, I don't know, might not be in the top 3, 4, or 5. But as far as grit, as far as showing up, and as far as believing we will find a way to win, those kids had it. And one of the parents described why they were so successful. And they said, John, do you realize that 9 of your 11 starters are the youngest in the family, who have been beat up by their brothers and sisters and are as tough as nails and don't take a back seat to anybody? I said, no, I didn't know that. And this mother firmly believed that's why these kids won a state championship. And looking back, yeah, I think she was right. So give me the youngest, folks. Send the youngest always. Another thing for the kids was always trying to be the best in practice, compete. We always competed in practice to be the best. We kind of didn't talk about winning the next game. We talked about how we could be successful, who we had to mark up, what strategy we'd have to use. But as long as we came and we competed at the highest level, there'd be times the scoreboard would favor us, and there'd be times it wouldn't, and it just wasn't our day. But we had to figure out, if we ever met this team again, how the scoreboard would be in our favor. So the mentality of the kids are something that I value. The 2014 team and the 2008 had the most Division I players and probably the most talent. But I must say this, the 2014 team, we were up at States, we win the first game, and we're going to play the second game, and it's cold, and we come out and our bus is frozen. And all our equipment, all the sneakers, all the sticks are on the bus. And we have about a half hour to get to the game. I don't think I ever told you that, but a father climbed up, Trish Miller grabbed a bar and was ready to break the window of the door. And the bus driver said, "No, you're not." And Miller said, "Yes, we are." And then finally a parent volunteered to climb up on the top of the bus and come through the safety thing. And he's throwing out, Mr. Thieland is throwing out sticks, sneakers. And as soon as kids are getting it, they're hopping in cars with the parents. We made it in about 20 minutes, but we did pull away, leaving Mr. Thielander in the bus, and somehow we got out. That was the year we beat Sachem 5-0. And Greer Thielander said to me, she saw that I was a little worried because our whole schedule, our whole rhythm of our routine had been interrupted. She looked at me and said, "Sav, don't worry. We got this." Now, this is before the game. I said, "Greer, you haven't been in we've got this situations before. I have been. It turns out we didn't have it." She goes, "Sav, we got this." And then they proceeded to say, they had a cheer that year. And the cheer was, some people would say, "Whose time is it? It's our time." And they literally screamed it while they were doing a short warm up. And Sachem was down in the practice field. Every one of the girls turned and looked. And Greer was white. She came to me after the game and gave me a hug and said, "I told you we got this." So that was a nice moment. And all the dinners and stuff and all the awards that kids were awarded by coaches in the section was rewarding, because I would say 99.9% of these kids, the awards were a team award. And they would say that I got this because my team helped me be successful. And I think that's, some of the memories. So, it's not, I know, a sort of big deal was made of when we beat Lakeland. That was a great game by a great program. And I felt, sorry for those kids because of the pain of losing. You got to have some empathy for the other people you're playing, but Lakeland always made us a better team. And that's why we played them, because if you want to be the best, you have to play the best. And hopefully coaches will realize by playing the best, you automatically get 2 bonus points. And if you get a win, you get 6 bonus points, and that helps you in the seeding. So those are some of the memories I have. Some of the players that I stay in touch with from 1996, Daoni Takeo, who played at Davidson and also played lacrosse, was one of the best lacrosse players come out of this. I'm still in touch with her. I went to her wedding in Chicago. Bridget Knowles and I talk every couple of months. She's a special individual. And I could name dozens and dozens of kids. Those are the 2 in an early and a late stage. I must say this, I must give kudos to Jane McNally, because Jane's, sacrificed her junior year so that Sam was in there for getting the shutouts, something we never do. Jane was okay with it. Sam, left the program with 50 shutouts, got recruited by Sacred Heart and is playing at Sacred Heart and getting half games as a freshman. Jane McNally, just okay. She got recruited by her video and how she played in some of the club teams that we got her into. And she's going to Cornell. She's recruited to play at Cornell. And she was a little hesitant. She goes, "Sav, is this real?" I said, "Jane, I can describe it in 2 words why it's real and why I think you should consider it." And I was on the phone and I hesitated. She goes, "Sav, you going to tell me?" I said, "Yeah, it's Cornell." And Jane's going to Cornell, and I think she'll have a chance to play there.
That's wonderful. And before we let you go, I wonder if you have any words of advice for whoever picks up the head coaching mantle from you, whether it's Coach Miller or if they go in a different direction. What words of advice do you have for the next coach to, keep the successful of this plan of this program going?
I would say, and this is something I've learned in the last 5 years, and considering I've been around 26, that's a shame. Get to know them personally. Get to know them as people. Show an interest to them as people. Show them that you care about them. And I did do that. They knew I cared about them. But did I know how many brothers and sisters, parents, what's going on? Tell me something nobody knows about you. These are questions I've asked some of the kids, and it's helped me relate to them as a person. And coaching female athletes, it's very important that you relate to them as people first, as friends, as somebody who will have their back, and then as field hockey players. And if they feel you care about them, they feel you support them and believe in them, they will go to war with you and some amazing things will happen. And you have to also be putting in the extra time. If you ask them to put in the extra time, you have to put in the extra time and become the best person / coach that you can be. And you will have an amazing experience coaching young ladies field hockey at Mamaroneck High School.
Well said, Coach. And thanks for joining us today. Congratulations on a phenomenal career, both in terms of wins and losses, of course, and more so helping to develop some of the young athletes and people of our community over the past really quarter century.
It's been my pleasure and honor.
It's been great working with you, Coach, and I wish you the best in retirement.
Thank you very much for all you've done. The 2 state champions you went up there with us, and the coverage of sports in Mamaroneck, LMC TV. You do a great job, and please continue that.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Take care. Bye-bye.